Agut moed raboisai. Lilu nishma simi mirosirus bas Mordechai. Agud moed to you and all those who are live right now, mamish before Yontif, and agutin motzi Yontif. If you're watching this right after Yontif, shkoyach for being here. We are on a sort of a marathon of shiurim to make sure that the olam has the proper amount of shiurim and nobody falls behind. Chas v'shalom. Pesach is a big zgula to fall behind, and if you don't know the trick is to do the daf that everybody's holding on. So if the olam is holding on daf peites, on tzaddik, whatever it is, that's the daf you do. And whatever you missed, you jot down somewhere, and you'll make it up eventually. One day, believe me, you'll make it up. But today, you do today's daf. And the bigger trick is not to fall behind and to learn on Yontif. I know it's difficult. After the Suda, chaparayim a few minutes here, a few minutes there. You don't need that 7-hour nap in the afternoon. You could also do away with 6. You can learn a shtickle Torah. It's a reminder for the Olam to say Sviras HaOmer right now in Chutz La'aretz. It's 5 days in the Omer. If you're watching this on Motzi Yontif, it might be 7. Sviras HaOmer is available for dedications, the Refuas Hadmar, Mevision Shlita. You can put anything in there. You don't have to put the Refuas, but somebody took it already for this day. The Refuas Hadmar, Mevision Shlita, Kvoi Dushis Marn Reb Yisrael Ben Leah Esther, the Refuas Shlema, sponsor day, or all of the Omer, mdydaf.com/sponsors. Whoa! Wow! Yishkoyach Mark. This is nice. This is a nice surprise. Let's see.
Rebelli, we got the beard already going on Chalamayid. We're here in Miami. Just landed.
Chaver.
Come back from a concert, but I wanted to wish you a good Yom Tov. I don't know if you recognize who I am, but it's your friend Yaakov. Wishing you a great Yom Tov. Keep up your amazing work. Bezat Hashem. Masechus Chulin. I think I'm gonna.
Chulin. We're gonna hold you to it, Yaakov.
My own time there. But you're doing amazing holy work, Rebelli. Keep it up.
He looks a little tired, no? Look at his eyes. The little, looks like he did one too many concerts over there, no? He needs a shtickle nap tonight. Wow, not the only one. Givaldik. Okay, Yaakov, Yishkoich, I'm looking forward. Chulin it is. I'm going to hold you to it. Listen, usually I don't allow people to go and start by new Masechtas, but you insist, that's it. We're gonna hold you to it. Ooh, the Rebbe Alain.
Rabbi Eli, wow.
Rabbi Eli.
Ashrecha v'toivlach. Amar b'tzteir for tausend dienen of the world. So my freilichen Yom Tov, freilichen Tovit, and we bezoiche to see mamish the nisim agloim, the Eibish is showing us constantly. But we see ad bias goyel v'ad b'chlal b'chol mamish. Good Yom Tov.
Wow. The Mordche. Agit Yom Tov. Thank you, Usher Werner from KMR. Thank you. Listen, there's a lot of surprises here today. Reb Shlomi Daskel.
Agut Yom Tov Reb Eli. Exactly. You're bringing mamish for Klal Yisrael. Everybody enjoys. You're learning. Me as well. I would like to wish you a happy Yom Tov. We should take all the ashpos from Yom Tov for us all year round. Thank you, Rebelli, again. Agit Yom Tov.
Shkoyach.
Agit Yom Tov. Hitzi over here. I want to wish you and the whole Kil Kadisha of MDY Agit Yom Tov, Erev Shal Pesach. Tonight, the Rosh Hashanah takes us out of Mitzrayim, of Golus, Suti Yam Suf towards Har Sinai. The belly has just supposed to give up so much Torah to Klal Yisrael. It's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. Let's make a song about that. And with that, the Rosh Hashanah shows us tonight, the belly. Let's finish off with the whole Chevra, with the song that I was supposed to write years ago. We are a miracle. We are a miracle. We were chosen with love and embraced from above. We are a miracle.
Isn't that a Shweki? So what is that? It was on a fast speed or something. But I think Shweki sang his song. Okay, that makes sense. What do we have here? Amen.
geschmack to do the daf, geschmack to do the daf. On kol amoyim, it's geschmack to do the daf. Ahai, Rabbeleg, and Yamdev, geschmack to do the daf, Yamdev.
Shkoch Moshe Storch. Oh, haven't seen him in a while.
Rev Eli. Just wanted to wish you, your family, and all the thousands and thousands of listeners, Talmidim, listening to your daf every single day, should continue to have Daf Yomi b'shanim tovim, many, many more happy, healthy years, nachas from your family, from your children, your grandchildren, It's Hashem, your great-grandchildren, and all your Talmidim all over the world. Chag Kosher v'Sameach.
Wow, Yishkoyach, I miss you. You haven't been by the last Shabbaton. Wie bist du? What, there's more? Bemis? No, these are surprises, each one. What is this?
Rebellia, good Yom Tiv. This is Nachas. You know, a few weeks ago, you caught me in Tom's River. Yechiel Tendler actually pulled me over to watch you giving a daf. And at that moment, it opened my eyes to really think about considering starting the Daf Yomi. So while I'm still considering it, just know how much chizuk you give to all of us and inspiration, and continue to do your great work. Good Yom Tiv. But now I have to go because my Maggid Shir is down the street. Oh, Reb Sully, good Yom Tiv.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, listen. As long as he's learning Torah. Listen to this. Yaakov Shafnes wrote. He wrote me a few things in the past. He's a great writer. I like this a lot. This geschmack. I felt I couldn't go on without writing a few words. How many minutes are we in? Because we really got to hustle here. It's almost Yontif. There are thousands upon thousands of Yidden learning every single day, connecting to the Torah in a steady, consistent way. But behind that, the hours, the effort, the constant adjustments, the recordings in multiple languages, the coordination with so many people across so many hours, it's something that can't be fully understood from the outside. It's mysterious nevish in the deepest sense. And yet, what shines through most is not just the effort, but the heart, the fire, the emes. Something incredibly powerful about these days, especially around Pesach, when the world feels scattered, when people are in different places. Let me read it from here. And different schedules. Somehow the Torah is being learned in all places and at all times. It's as if a quiet global Kol Torah is rising nonstop, circling the world, and you are at the center making that possible. Thank you. That is not just a Daf Yomi movement. That is the shmir of a Klal Yisrael, a living, breathing schus that is hard to put into words. On a personal level, it has changed me to be able to hold onto daily learning, to do chazar, to turn even simple moments like cleaning for Pesach into moments filled with Torah. That is a gift, a real gift. And I'll be honest, seeing you after long hours with the look, with that look in your eyes, carrying both exhaustion and something. What? Darling could see? Not tough. Don't look exhausted. It's something so much deeper. It doesn't weaken what doesn't weaken the message. It doesn't weaken the message. It literally strengthens it. It shows what Torah looks like when it's lived with emes. Inspires more than words ever could. Like I've told you in the past, and probably will say it over and over. And I feel humbled and honestly privileged to be part of this, to learn through something built with such sincerity and such sacrifice. Rabbi say, there's such a big team. There's a team, and I showed it in the other year. Yoshi working till 4 something in the morning. Shlomo working, Mark Ashkenazi online. It's a team. It's the whole team. It's unbelievable. Believe. Okay. May you've continued koyach, bracha, and simchas halev, and all that you do. Amen. And may we continue to grow together through this incredible light. Can't wait to have you back. Chag Sameach, Yaakov Shafnes. Beautiful. All right. Now that I have tears in my eyes, we could start the daf. K'moishe tzarech, the typical Erev Yontif daf with tears in the eyes. Zog Tehillah Gemara. Actually, we're holding by the Mishnah. Peizayin Omud Beis. Yeah? We're good? Oh, we have to do sponsors? Yeah, they didn't put in sponsors. Okay, that's their problem. They'll have to, maybe the editors will put it in. Meanwhile, we go weiter. Here goes the official edition of the White Shas, Masechta by the Iranian Levi families, the Perek by anonymous with gratitude to Hashem. Ooh! Rabbi Sai, today's daf is a special daf. Everybody should have known. It's daf Peiches. It's the one and only the Peretz Chaim Levin's Favorite daf, Peches, Peretz Chaim. It's daf, Peches for Peretz Chaim, to the best Maggid Shir in the world. Rabbi Umoiri, Reb Eli Shlita Yishkoyach. Thank you so much. I did not see this before. A lot of surprises today. Masechta sponsors David Salman, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv. The Masechta is sponsored by Joel Gedalius, Leading Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius, Anonymous, Haslach Baruchnis Ubegashmias, the Palchik Family Foundation, Lezich Nishmas, Harav Agoyin, Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Metz Ilui, Anonymous Refuah Shleimo. LeMoshe ben Yizoha, anonymous for a complete refuah shleima and arichas yom to Leiba Bas Esther, Yisrael Malki. Totally Taras Picham Alti Zov Chesav. We're so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Sending girls and family, Canvey Island, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Tony Almoni, Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Iskim Mitzorchem Diwai, Akash Baruch Hu Shalom Scharim, Ari Simon, the refuah shleima, Avi Mari, Baruch Bemirim. He's a monthly sponsor. The weekly sponsor is in honor of Mark Ashkenazi. Thank you for your constant generosity and giving of your time, particularly today on Erev Yontif. Your efforts are greatly appreciated by all who watch the shir, the consortium. It's not understood by itself, they say in Hebrew, is the lo muvan me'elav. In other words, a person will sit there and run 3 shiurim on an Erev Yontif, and he doesn't get much out of it. The Olam knows, they already know who Mark Ashkenazi is, but it's different, he's behind the scenes. MDY Art for the month, Refuah Shleima, Yehonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Bracha. I said he came to visit me. I didn't see him in the basement for a while, but he came to my front door. He just wanted a hug. I gave him 2 hugs. He should have a refuah shleima, Mordechai ben Esther. We love Mordechai ben Esther. He should have a refuah shleima b'karoi, a complete refuah shleima. The refuah is Hayela Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Says the Heilige Mishnah, Daf Peizayin on the base on the bottom. Sheva midois shalach choyu b'migdosh. There's 7 measurements for liquids in the Beis HaMikdash. We just finished talking about the 2 or 3 measurements for solids, for flour. Now we're talking about the different measurements for liquids. The Gemara is going to tell us what you need each and every one. Hin. So we start off, the Tana starts off with the largest one. Hin, v'chatzi hin. So hin, according to the Chazon Ish, hin is about 7 liters. Chatzi hin will be 3.5 liters. So that's the most churmadik shear. Here it is. You have the hin, which is 7 liters, and it goes all the way down to a quarter of a lug, which we call today a revius. So on Pesach night, we're supposed to drink a kos. Each kos should be a revius. That's the smallest shear. And according to the Chazon Ish, that's approximately 150 milliliters. According to Reb Chaim Na, it's 86 milliliters. And according to Reb Moshe Feinstein, one should be makbid on 100 milliliters, which is easier to remember. The way people remember it is kos, chaf plus samach is 80, and the vav is a 6, 86 milliliters according to the Reb Chaim Na. And according to the Chazon Ish, it's kos hagun, which equals 150. And Reb Moshe is somewhere in between. Says it's kedai to do 100. Okay. So says the Mishnah, you start off with the largest measurement. The Mishnah starts off, but then we're going to see that according to Rabbi Yehuda, we start off with the lowest measurement. What the nafkamina is, the Gemara is going to say. But over here we start. The largest measurement is about 7 liters according to the Chazon Ish, much less, about 4 liters according to Reb Chaim Na. The chatzihin, there was a measuring cup that was a half a hin, with half of that measurement. And then you have shlishis ahin, urevius ahin, lakeves yahin, right? Lug, loig, v'chatzi lug, urevius halug, gevaldik. These are the 7. The first Motzei Shabbos after Rav Shteiman's Rebbetzin was nifteres, so he asked for a certain cup to make Havdalah. So they brought him the cup that he usually makes Havdalah in, and he said, no, the other one. And he explained that his wife insisted on that he should use this cup because she got it from Yerusha, this, and her mishpacha. But now that she's not around anymore, he's not mechuyev to use it, and he wants to be makbid on the shear of the Chazon Ish. So in other words, that cup was good for the Reb Chaim. No, he wanted to be makbid on the Chazon Ish. Beneget to Pesach, as soon as she was nifter, he started being makbid on putting away. There's a chumrah to put water away, to use water that was set aside before Pesach. Such a chumrah. And the reason why he didn't do it while his wife was still alive is because the first year they were married, he asked his wife to set aside water for Pesach, and she says she forgot. She says, "Oh, you forgot? Nish gefarlich. It's not the end of the world. It's not such an important chumrah." So, in order not to hurt her feelings, he never was makbid on it their entire marriage. After she was nifter, he said, "I have to be makbid on it." I did it not to hurt her feelings, but now she's not around. It's beseder. Midas toivus. There were different demarcations on the measuring cup. In my Rashi here, I don't know what everybody else has. In my Rashi, there's a picture, a rudimentary picture, so like a typical measuring cup. This much is a chatzi ahin. This is revius ahin. This is a lug, a revius halug, etc. Different marks on the actual measuring cup. So in other words, he argues and he says there weren't 7 different measuring cups. It was one measuring cup that had demarcations in it. Adkan lepar, there's a chatzin. Adkan la'ayel, there's a shlishasin. Adkan lakeves, this is a revisin. Reb Shimon Omer lo hayisham hin. The largest measurement didn't exist. V'chimeh haya hin mishamish. The hin was used once by Moshe Rabbeinu in order to make shemen hamishcha, which lasted forever. But there's no purpose for it afterwards. That's it. Klal Yisrael never made shemen hamishcha anymore. So, but you have to have 7. And the Gemara is going to go into each step. Why do you have to have 7? And why, according to the other manner, why do you have it? There was a measurement called a lug and a half. That's what they measured the oil for the Kohen Gadol's mincha every day. So the 7th measuring cup was 1.5 lug. Tanura Banon, 3 lines from the bottom. So now this Tana is going to go from the bottom up. Start from the smallest one. We know the smallest one is a revius. Revius lug. V'chatzi lug, v'lug, u'revius ahin, u'shlish ahin, v'chatzi ahin, v'hin. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, so Rabbi Yehuda starts from the bottom up. And now we have a freebie because we had this in the Mishnah. Even the other one was a freebie. Remei oime hin, v'chatzi hin, shlish ahin, u'revius ahin, v'lug, v'chatzi lug, u'revius lug. Rabbi Shimon oimer, loy hoyesham hin. There's no hin. V'chem hin mishamish. What do you need it for? Daf peches amud aleph. Daf chaparayin. Rabbi say daf chapenarayin. Esmi ovi tachtov. What is it used for? Elomida yiser shalug umechza hoizasham. So in fact, there was something else called 1.5 log. I'm telling you, it's a freebie. We read this in the Mishnah. Lug umechza babayik. This was for the Kohen Gadol's chavitin. 1.5 log in the morning. Lug umechza ben arbayim. Amrula echatzi log hoizasham. Vevshel l'shar b'chatzi log. Mark, this is why I was able to come 5 minutes early. I didn't realize that these lines were a freebie. Once I realized, I had an extra 5 minutes. I didn't have to prepare. I'm kidding. So he says, why do you need a 1.5 log? You just take the half log measurement and do it 3 times, and you get 1.5 log. What's the problem? So he tells them after the Reichem, so you could say that in everywhere. Chatzi log v'log loyasa. Then you don't even need a half a log. You don't need a full log. Revius hoyisasham. Take the revius. Take a becher from the seder, the small bechers. Ve'efshel l'shar b'revius. I bought a couple of small bechers. Why? Because there's an idea of drinking the entire cup. So if you start off with something large, you're gonna have to drink this whole thing. It's a problem. But if you don't want to get too tipsy, but you want to drink the revius and you want to drink the whole cup, so you get a cup that's 150 milliliters according to Chazon Ish, or 86 according to Reb Chaim Lo. Oh, so he says, according to you, just take a revius, and through the revius, keep on pouring until you get to the shear. You need revius. You know what? He says the reason why you need 1.5 lug is because we had a rule in the Beis Hamikdash. You cannot use one measuring device for something else. It has one purpose. You can't try to measure a 1.5 lug with a 1 lug kli and keep on measuring. It doesn't work like that. We learned in the Mishnah that there were different demarcations, marks, measure, like your wife's measuring cup. It says a cup, a half a cup, a quarter cup. So two, in the Beis Hamikdash, there was one measuring cup, it had different markings. Why does the Mishnah say that according to Rabbi Yehuda, it goes from the smallest amount and it keeps climbing until you get to the hin? According to Rabbi Meir, it starts by the hin and goes downwards. What could be a nafkamina in how we read it? Omar Rabbi Yechanan, Beirutze midois ikebenai. When you fill up the cup and the oil, the wine, goes over the rim, that's Beirutze midois. Man Omar mimata lamala, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that he started off with the smallest shear and he went up, he climbed up. Whatever goes above the rim has a kedusha like inside the cup. And Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave one measurement to Moshe Rabbeinu, the revius. You should measure it, and you'll see that there'll be like a overflow, go above. In other words, you're going to try to take the two. I gave you a revius. Take two revius. Take two of those, and you'll make a half a lug. But according to Meir, you're going from the highest shear down. It didn't become kaddish. Why? Hashem gave to Moshe Rabbeinu the largest shear. Take from this, and the birutzin, the overflow is going to flow over. So when you start from the smaller shear, you're going to be left with some overflow. It's going to go above the rim. But we start with the larger one, that's not how it works. It's going to fall to the side. Explain a little bit more in a moment. So let's see what they did here. First of all, Beirutzin. Here we go. This is the over, when it goes over the rim. The color, it's perfect. You take two revises and you make a chatzi log. So the overflow, what goes above, it reminds me, this made a big impression on me. Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach asks, there's a sugya that talks about making a koshel bracha. And it says that, what's the lashon over there? Basically, he brings a raya, because the Gemara says that nitzoitzis lo shchichi, that to have drops of the wine on the outside of the cup is not common. So ask Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, I understand. If you're supposed to fill up kiddush above the rims, what do you mean it's not shaykh? Every time you do that, it's going to drip on the side. From the fact that the Gemara says that it's not common, that proves that the Gemara doesn't want you, or doesn't think that you're going to go over, and it's actually slightly below the rim. And I took that to heart when I read what he said, and I don't go above. I go up to a little bit below maybe. My guests look at me, what's going on? I said you shouldn't go. You shouldn't have the shliach. Maybe I shouldn't paskin based on his kasha. I don't know. Just made a big impression when I was learning the sukkah. Like, wow, Einfall. Abaya Omar, the Kule Alma Berutzi Hamidois Ikela Meimar Niskachu, Vikela Meimar Lo Niskachu. Says Abaya, when it comes to the overflow, whatever you want to call it, you go both ways. You could say that according to everybody, it's Kadosh, it has Kedusha of the Kli, according to everybody. It doesn't have Kedusha, whatever. But we could say the Machlokes is different. The famous pasuk Shneihem Milayim. So the word Milayim, what does it mean? Manda Omar Milamalo Lamato. According to Rameir, that he started with the hin, the largest measurement went downwards. Kosavar Milayim Shlei Chasev Shlei Yosef. That the word Milayim means it has to be exactly. It should be full, not too much, not below the level. Umanda Omar Mimata Lamalo. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, they go from the smallest share, you go from the revius all the way up to the hin. Milayim Shlei Chaser. It means that it should be full, meaning that you shouldn't go below the line. Ava Yoiser Milayim Kirin Bay. But if you go too much, it's fine. Why? Because, and this l'chari you could explain it before as well. When you go from a smaller vessel to a larger vessel, you're going to have that foam, you're going to have those bubbles, and that always, even though you had the right amount to start out with, but when you start pouring it into the kli, into a larger kli, it's going to foam up and it's going to create more. Like when you pour soda, obviously when you pour soda, just. But even with wine, similar, it has certain bubbles, and that's why it's okay to have more. If you go from the smaller kli to the larger kli, it's okay to have more. But according to Rameh, they go from the larger kli to the smaller kli. You don't have those bubbles that much, and therefore it has to be exact. Okay. Reb Shimon asked the bomb question. It's not necessary to have this giant hin. What do you need it for? Shapir Kamalu Reb Shimon Rabbanon. He said, well, Rabbanon have a hin, David Moshe Shemen HaMishcha. You're right, we don't use it now. But Moshe Rabbeinu once upon a time used it. The sentimental value to the chsiv, v'shemen zayis hin. Mar Sova, when he did the Shemen HaMishcha, Mar Sova kivin de l'doris le'havet tzorach. Since for generations you don't need it, l'fisho da'avdei v'ignas. The famous Ignas. Sometimes Chacham took something and made a gniza. They put it away forever. So they took this hin and they buried it because it doesn't serve any purpose. And the other man says, the Tanakama says, Kivin hava, once we have that measuring cup stays in the closet, in the Beis Hamikdash, and it stays there forever. Omar Mar, Ve'esmi avi tachtov. Reb Shimon says, since I don't have the hin, I got rid of it, so now I'm left with 6 kalim, 6 measuring. So what am I going to do instead? As the Gemara, so you won't have 7. What happens if you don't have 7? Nothing happens. So you have 6. No. We're going to learn in a few days that there's a halacha l'moshe. Gemira means halacha l'moshe Sinai, that you have to lean on 2 karbanos of the tzibur. When a person brings an individual carbon, he leans with all his might on the head. But when the tzibur brings a carbon, you don't have that leaning really. Besides, by the parallel davar and the la'azazel. That's halacha l'moshe Messina. So the same way we have halacha l'moshe Messina tells us they have to lean on 2 karbanos. So we know from halacha l'moshe Messina. It's Torah Messina, Torah Shabal Peh. There was 7 measuring cups. Now you have to figure it out. You have to know. We have to break our heads, come up with the 7th. What is it? If it's not the hin, we're not using the hin anymore. So it must be 1.5 log. No, there's only 1 measuring device and it had marks. Asking he doesn't. What about the halacha l'moshe Messina we just discussed? Leslie, no, he doesn't have the halacha l'moshe Messina. He does. But halacha l'moshe Messina didn't say 7 measuring cups. It said 7 shiurim, 7 measurements. You could put all those 7 measurements into 1 cup. All you need to do is make marks in it. Says the Heilige Mishnah, Revi is my hoisa mishameshes. Now the Mishnah is going to go through all the measurements. What do you do with each one? The Gemara is going to help it out a little bit. Revi is my hoisa mishameshes. What do you do with the revis? Revi is mayim lemitzayro. We don't really talk about this part of the mitzayro. We're very familiar. Mitzayro, you have to put the blood on the thumb and on the toe, or the big toe, and on his ear, and on the whole thing. You put oil, blood. But there's one part where he has 2 birds, and you shechtel 1 bird, and you put the blood of that bird into the water that came from a live stream, a maya. These are things that I threw in. We have newer and better, but whatever. This is what I found. So, Revi'is mayim l'mitzayra. He needs a Revi'is mayim. Or Revi'is shemen l'nazir. So the Nazir, here's Rav Turjuman, and he brings chalois, and you need a Revi'is oil in the challah. Chatzi lug, ma'ayim shamish. What do you do with the half a lug? Chatzi lug mayim l'soita. You know, the soita, she comes and her husband brings her, and they take the Megillah with Hashem's name, the psukim, they put it into this water. It was a half a lug of water. The chatzi lug shemen l'toida. The 30 matzah breads, there's 10 chametz, 30 matzah breads get a half a lug of oil. What do you do with the lug? Every mincha gets a lug shemen. Every Yissarin gets 1 lug. Says the Mishnah, Afilu mincha shel shishim Yissarin noisin la shishim lug. Every Yissarin of a mincha gets 1 lug. So if you're going to make 1 giant mincha, which is 60 Yisraelim, that's the largest one we said. That has to be royu lebila. Kala royu lebila, kala ro'ui lebila, ein bila makeves. If you can mix it in that bowl, and the largest amount that you can mix is 60 Yisraelim, so it requires 60 lug shemen. Afilu mincha shel shishim Yisraelim noisin lo shishim lug. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov omer afilu mincha shel shishim Yisraelim ein lo elo luga. Even a large mincha of 60 Yisraelim of flour requires only 1 lug of shemen, not 60 lug of shemen. Shenemar, because there's a pasuk lemincha velug shemen. For any mincha, you get 1 lug shemen. Says the Mishnah, shisha lepar, 6 lug, in other words, a half a hin, because the Mishnah talks about a full hin, half a hin, a quarter of a hin, a third of a hin. So what do you do with a half of a hin? That's for the par, which is 6 lug. Arba layil, which is a shlish zahin, goes for the ram. Shloish lekeves, a revi zahin, goes for the sheep. Shloish u'metzel lemenorah, 3.5 lug for the menorah. Chatzi lug lekol ner, each candle gets a half a lug. Yosef Rebbe, so that's a lot of oil if you think about it. If a revius is 150 milliliters, so you're talking about 300 milliliters. That's a lot, like 2 kiddush cups. Whatever it is, if it's 86, so you still have 2 kiddush cups. Chatzi lug lekol ner. Yosef Rebbe v'kokashile revius lama nimshecha. Why do you need to? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu have to be mekadesh the revius halug? Why did he need kedusha? If it's to give the kedusha to the water of the mitzayra, like the Mishnah says, chutzu. It's outside of the azara or outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Rashi says outside of the azara. V'i daf peches omid beis on top. The nazir, and if it's for the oil of the nazir, lechem nazir b'shchita sa'aylu de kodesh. The bread becomes kodesh through the shchita. We said. Omalei Reb Chia sheboya moeded lechaviti kohen gadol. V'yishemen lekol chala v'chala. It's in order to measure 1 revius, 1 kiddush cup's worth of oil per each and every challah And there's 6 chalas in the morning, we said 6 chalas in the afternoon, each challah got a reviz. Kari alei. So, and it's interesting, we're going to have in the Gemara a few psukim that the Amoraim was so excited. Kari alei, no, this is Rebbe Chia. Kari alei me'eretz merchok ishatzasi. He comes from a far out country, from Bavel. Ishatzasi. He's a man that gives eitzes. It's like Rabbi Yoelish, the Satmarov said, when I'm in Chutz La'aretz, so people come and they give me money and they ask me for eitzes and ideas. But when I go to Eretz Yisrael, people come and they ask me for money and they give me eitzes and ideas. Meretz Mechok Ishatzasi, he comes from a far place and he gives me an eitzah. He told me good pshat. The turning of the daf by our DAG Global experts in cross-border payments. L'shadich.com, please read a shidduch today because every shidduch that happened was first read. Okay, what do we got? Okay. Chatzi lug me ho yo mishamish. Yosef Rebbe v'kokashile chatzi lug lo manimshach. So it says in the Mishnah, what do you do with the half a lug? It's for the saita or for the toida. Yosef Rebbe v'kokashile chatzi lug lo manimshach is saita v'chechulin edetzrich lekadushay. The water, where does the water come from? This is the best I could do. I know we have much better. We have already our stuff, but this I got from Kol Lashon. What are we going to do? It's already Yantiv by Yoshi. He did whatever he could do, and that was it. The water comes from the kiyar, and the kiyar itself has Kedusha, and it gives and infuses Kedusha into the water. So why do you have to be Mekadosh it again? It should come straight out of the kiyar, not from the faucet. If it's for the oil of the toida, the breads of the toida become kadosh, like we said before, the same idea, through the shechita of the carbon. You don't need a special kli to be mekadosh. We just had him earlier, Reb Shimon, the son of Rebbe, says, with this half a log, this is how we divided the oil for the menorah. Omar Loi, once again, we have a new pasuk, Ner Yisrael Kachai. He called him a Ner Yisrael. I guess that's where the yeshiva got its name. Ner Yisrael, it's a great name. No, I thought it's over here. There's a Simon Gimel. I thought maybe it's a pasuk. I don't see it now. Okay. It's not brought here. So maybe it was his own words. But I thought it's a pasuk. There you go. Interesting. Okay, I don't see it. Ner Yisrael. You light up the candle of Klal Yisrael. Kachoya. That's exactly what it is. Oh. I get it. Okay. There's a Taisus here. Omer Rabbi Yechim. Omer Rabbi. Ner Shekavsa. What happens if the menorah extinguishes itself in the middle of the night? Nidash and Hashem, now what happens? You know, like your menorah on Hanukkah, the wick, the black wick falls into the oil, it muddies up the oil. Nidashna psila, the wick itself becomes terrible. Okay, so what should he do? Mitiva, you should clean it out. First you clean it out, then you redo the whole thing. Add the oil, add a wick, and you light it, and it's great. Yosef Rebbe Zrika v'komem boilei. So Rebbe Zrika asks, when you fill it up with oil, kemida rishona, should you give a half a lug, start all over with the whole half a lug, or kemoshe chasra, or perhaps let's say from the half a lug, half of that went down, so now you're left with the reviz. You're missing a reviz. So pour in a revius. Why start off with the full amount that is already lit for 3-4 hours? Omar Rabbi Yirmi, I'll tell you why. She did the Kemida Rishon. It's obvious they have to start all over again, give it the full amount. Dikim Chasra, because if you have to add whatever is missing, Menoya Dina Mai Chiser. If you're gonna, how are you gonna know what's missing? Now, v'chiteimen de misharele, maybe you're gonna measure with one of your measuring cups. You're gonna take whatever's left over and put it into a measuring cup. And now you see in the measuring cup that it's let's say you have a revius. So you know you're missing a revius. Let's say you have a half a revius. So you know you have to put 3/4 of a lug, whatever it is. But you have to measure it in a special measuring device. But that's only good if you have 30, 40 different measuring devices, because every time it extinguishes at different periods of the night, and you have to measure exactly. So ask the Gemara, that can't be. It can't be that you're taking the leftover oil and putting it into a measuring device. It's many, many measuring devices. And that's my raya that we don't have to measure. And just start all over from the beginning. Just put it in a half a lug and Shalom Yisrael. Karaleis, he said a third pasuk over here. V'hadarcha tzlach. So Rashi explains v'hadarcha. You take the hadarcha and it's a lotion of chidudim, chidutcha. The hay and the daled are interchangeable. So your sharpness, chidudim, tzlach, rechav al dvar emes, va'anova tzedek. Because you're so sharp, you said a great pshat. Benami and mamish mefurish a freebie. Omer Rav Omer Bich. Bamri lo Omer Rav Abba Omer Bich. Chanina Omer Rebbe. Nerish kafsa. If one of the candles of menorah goes out, nidashin Hashem and nidashin apsila, and the oil got discolored and the wick is no good. Kesedaisa, what should he do? Meitiva, he cleans it. V'noisim b'shemen kemida rishoyna, the original amount. You bring a chatzi lug. You pour it in, umadlika, and you light it. Omar Ravuna Bereder Rav Yehuda Omar Rav Sheshes. Ner shebamigdash shel Prakam Hava. Says the Gemara, Moridike Chiddush that nobody knows. The Loim Di Adaf know this. That the menorah was flexible. The gold is very flexible. And in order to clean out, let's say, perfect. This is the glass that holds the oil. How are you going to clean it out? If it's stationary, how are you ever going to clean it out? The only way to do it is if you're able to turn it over. But how do you turn it over? You take the stem of the menorah and you bend it down. Boom! Upside down, like this. And then once you're there, you clean it out. It's beautiful. Let's take a look. This is removing the wick. These are the Milkul Chaim. You have like a tweezer device, you have a fork, you have like a shovel. And take a look over here. It's bent downwards. For both sides bent. Interesting fork he has over there. I would use the tweezer and that's okay. Pulls out the wick. But once it's bent downwards, then you can clean it out. Kosovar, Kosovar, kiksiv kikar. It says it's made out of a block, umiksha, and it's one hard piece. It was one piece. It didn't come apart. You can't unscrew it. It wasn't made out of different pieces. Given the boyatava, since you have to clean it out, you'll have the prokim have it. If not for the fact that it was flexible, you wouldn't be able to clean it out ever. Basically, I'll ask you a question. How do you do it? You take apart the menorah, and you take the wicks out, and you put in the oil. You put in the heichal. And you wipe it down with a sponge. And then you put the oil in it and you light it. You see that you can take it apart. Who's Chacham? The Gemara is going to say in a second. The ner, the top part, never moved. It didn't move. This part stayed stationary. Uman Chachamim Rebbe Lazar, who it's Rebbe Lazar the Sadi, Rebbe Lazar Rebbe Tzadik Oimer Kimintash Zov Hoyil Al Gabo. He says, how do you clean it? So I asked Yoshi to do something, and look what he did. Mamish Erev Yontiv, last minutes before Yontiv. If this is the top of the menorah, the cup of the menorah, so it had I remember them selling something like this, like a metal piece. They had a piece made out of gold that sat on top, and they would slide it open. You take the wick, clean it, pour in the oil through that hole, and put the wick right back into that hole. Now, I do want to say, I asked Yoshi to do it in another shape, but he said it was too difficult for him at that point to do it. It was more like, the shape was more like a canoe, like a boat. It wasn't a round shape, but that's okay. This is for illustrative purposes only. What does it mean? Kimintas. I said people are not going to understand maybe. Kimintash zav hoyla gaba. A thin piece of gold on top. Shumitiva, and when he cleans the menorah, he pushes it, slides it forward. And when he puts the oil in, then he closes it up. He puts the oil through the hole. Or we've looked at that in Tanoi, the menorah and the top glass, the part that they put the oil in, all comes from that one piece of gold, which weighed about 50 pounds, I think we said it was. These guys, the tools that remove the wicks and the oil and cleans it out, that was not part of it. Sorry. And here, this is a new sheet. The whole menorah came from the big block of gold. Mark, how many people are on YouTube? I'm curious. 3, 5. It's Erev Yontif. It came from the big chunk of gold. And then he says he sticks on one word. Wow. It's 5 p.m. in New York and almost 50 people on YouTube. 49 people on YouTube. Kol hakavod. Unbelievable. Chesed Hashem. The Olam is thirsty for Torah. Thirsty for Torah. Yontif is in 2 hours. So we have to finish up here, upload the shir, and do another shir real quickly right before Yontif. Yishkoyach Mark again. Tzadik Yisoy Olam. So, says Rabbi Nechemi sticks in one more thing. He says the actual cup that held the oil was not made out of that kikar. It doesn't come. One says that the cup did come and the other one says not. They both agree that the tool's not. By Kro the Sanya, they argue in the pasuk. The Sanya kikar zov tor yasa oisa. You should make the menorah out of one kikar zahav. Then we know the actual menorah comes from the kikar. How do you know that it doesn't include the cups? All these vessels. Maybe it includes the tweezers and the fork. Only menorah, divrei Rebbe Nechemia. In other words, according to Rebbe Nechemia, the cups do come from the gold. As the Gemara, a second ago, we read from Rebbe Nechemia that the cups are not included in that one chunk of gold. And now you're saying it is. You're right. There's two Talmidim. Each one thought he heard something else from Rebbe Nechemia. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karchai menorah bought min hakikar. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karchai says that only the menorah came from the chunk of gold. And he holds like the part of the Nechemia that the cups and the tools didn't come from that gold. Why? What am I going to do with the pasuk? All these vessels. So kalim shalzav. Just the pasuk is just saying they come from gold, but not from the same chunk of gold, from the brick of gold that the menorah is made out of. As the Gemara is that's I don't need the pasuk for that. That it says mefurish in the pasuk. V'sisis nerisel shiva. V'helos nerisel v'heri alev panel. Umal kochel umachtu yisel zov tar. It says mefurish in the pasuk. They should make the tweezer out of gold. It says the Gemara leinitzruchel pineiros. Let's go back. Pineiros. This guy on top, the cover is made out of gold. So, what's going to happen? Anybody that ever lit the menorah and has a piece of metal that covers it knows that it becomes black from the flame, from the ashes. I would think that the Torah says, listen, since it's going to become black, use impure gold. Don't use the top quality. Use gold. You want to use gold, great, but not the top quality. It's going to get burnt anyway. That's why I need a pasuk to tell me, no, you make it from the purest of the pure. Rabbi Yisai, have a good yontiv. Thank you for being here. Yishkoyach Mark. Yishkoyach to all the editors, to the artists, to Yoshi Befrat. Yishkoyach Golomai.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.